HarlequinCoHO here, everybody, and I have a nice little 1v1 for you. And honestly, this is one of my favorite 1v1s I've seen today, and seen this week, rather, and just kind of digging this. So let's get right in here and see what we got. In the south position, we have VonMechakon, who's already been in a couple of my replays, and if you guys have been watching my cast lately, you'll know my fascination with the Piospam build order. And you can see, just looking at his base, he's got 4 Pioneers queued up right away, and his Pioneers, by the way, do have the Panzerfaust ability and the reduced munitions cost on the Panzerfaust ability. VonMechakon, great player, really kind of pushing the boundaries on abusive Pioneer spamming, and I'm all for testing strategies out and that sort of thing, because it's a beta, man. Come on, let's see what's out there. So VonMechakon, he's like ranked 24th or something like that right now in the Blitzkrieg 1v1 ladder, and his opponent today, I'll go ahead and switch over to NdxTycoon, who's a gentleman who's fairly active on the forums and submitted me this replay just because it's kind of a fun game here. So NdxTycoon is opening in a very strange way. Now, right away, he knows what VonMechakon's doing. He knows VonMechakon's style of play. He can see the army items, and he can just assume this is going to be Piospam. So the name of the game here is, what do you do against Piospam? What are your options, or what can some players do? If you've seen any of my earlier Piospam games, we saw a couple of great games with like Bar Riflemen and Flame Engineers and stuff like that you can use. But NdxTycoon is in a difficult position because he, as an early game armor commander, doesn't have a lot to rely on. He can't rely on any commander abilities pretty much to help him with Piospamming, because Piospamming is one of the quickest rushes out there. You'll see that the Pioneers can just fan out all across the map, and you can see already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 territories versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 territories. So he's really capping much faster than NDX can hope to keep up with. NDX, however, being very fast to throw this observation post right away onto the onto this 18 munitions point here. So moving around, his engineers, by the way, have rifles and health regeneration. You'll see nothing yet in his base. Let's take a look. He has 4 engineers. Looks like he's going for 4 engineer sniper opening, which you don't see a lot of these days, but this used to be a very popular allied opening, at least in Vanilla Company of Heroes. And so here we have a little bit of the fighting going on here, single Pioneers versus single Engineers. Pretty much early game Piospam is just going to be like this until backup arrives. A little bit of kind of playing footsie, and then the backup shows up, and then whoever you've got in the field has to get out of there right now, because that close combat fire from those little machine guns does a lot of damage. So we do have charismatic Engineers out. You can see at level 4 they do have 5 units. They're okay. They're certainly useful in just having high body count when you're fighting Pioneer spam, but I find that they just die really quickly. You know, their little grease guns kind of suck, and even with 5 dudes, it feels like they still have the hit points of 3, but I don't know. That's just my personal opinion from having used them a bunch. And now we have a late weapon support center, so we are definitely going to see a 4 engineer sniper build order. And jumping down here for the VonMechakon, you can see his Comcraft center is already done, and basically almost done researching what is surely Vet 1 for his Pioneers. So Pioneers are now moving around, having grabbed up most of the map. Charismatic Engineers taking the center, hopefully. That seems to be one of the most difficult places to hold. But so kind of the name of the game here is, what do you do when you're sure that you've got Pioneer spamming going on? And one detail I do like from this was that he knew right from the very beginning, just by looking at the loadout screen, that his opponent was going for Pioneer spamming. I'm sure he also just knows who VonMechakon is. But so here we have Flamethrower just about done. Unfortunately, charging in with the Flamethrower meant that he took most of the damage from those Vet 1 guys. Oh, and everybody burns to death. So good shots there. So unfortunately, the Flamethrowers are pretty weak right now. 50% hit points, 1 man down, and these extra Pioneers are going to have to retreat here. So here is the big ball that everybody's always worried about. You know, for the most part, with Pioneer spamming, you're going to have some Pioneers on the left or the right, you know, a little bit of Pioneers just kind of moving around, but then you're going to have a big angry ball of Pioneers with Flamethrowers and stuff that you really want to look out for. So we'll see if we do have any of that just yet. Pretty much nothing out of the ordinary. We do have 1 set of Flame Pios here coming on in, and you'll see that VonMechakon, knowing that he needs munitions, I mean, pretty much the easiest way to defeat, not the easiest way, there is no easy way to defeat Pio spamming, but Pioneer spamming really requires lots and lots of munitions. If you can constantly decap their munitions points and kill their Flame Engineers and force them to keep having to remake Flame Engineers, Flame Pioneers, whatever, that is a very difficult position to be in. Gonna have to retreat. We'll see if he's able to get out of there. Kind of flames flying everywhere. And probably is already researching. Yep, Vet 2 on his Pioneers is coming along nicely. So Vet 2 is out there. Bunch of Flame Pioneers and a bunch of Pioneers just kind of spread out everywhere. Going to take a look at the tactical map, give you guys an idea what we're looking at. And we do see a sniper on the battlefield finally. So very weak number of units here. It looks like for NdxTycoon, he's got just the 4 engineers. A little bit of firing going on out here. Charismatic engineers fighting over there. Single group of engineers over here. And they're going to have to retreat. Big ball coming up here. Well, no, not a big ball, but they can converge at any moment. You got to look out for them. So, single sniper moving along. You can see this is a level 5 survival sniper. They can sprint, and they can kind of move while camoed and retreat while camoed. Just kidding. That's never been implemented, but that is their level 5 ability, is retreating while camoed. Doesn't work, though. We do have a little bit of pressure going on here at this observation point. The Pioneers, Flame Pioneers up here from VonMechakon, going to kind of burn this thing down if it's unchecked. Meanwhile, just kind of capping out. So the name of the game here is Second Snipers coming out, and how do you hold this stuff off with just your engineers and some snipers? So Flame Engineers and Double Sniper, super duper effective against Pioneers. You can kill a single squad in one shot, basically. We'll see what's going to happen up here. You just got to make sure that your snipers are timed appropriately. So here we're going to have the first shot goes off, and will the second shot go off? Yes! Whole squad down. Good to go. So that is a squad-killing machine there if you keep them together. And just because of the fact that the Pioneers have only 2 members in their squads, they're very, very vulnerable to sniping. A little bit of skirmishing going on here. It looks like the engineers kind of stood their ground for once. Now we're going to have to retreat. Meanwhile, finally getting around to capping some of these victory points. We'll see a supply yard is up. And pretty much just Double Sniper and Engineers is the name of the game, and they're kind of hunting around on the battlefield. So, what is VonMechakon's response to this? I'm going to go ahead and check him out. And one of the things I like the most about this replay, and honestly, this is one of the more interesting replays I've seen all week. It's interesting just because there's a lot of strategy going on here, is without even batting an eye, he gets a motorcycle. So already you can tell, okay, he has this planned out, and he knows what he's going to use to counter it. You'll see he even has a motorcycle increased detection radius by 40% for his motorcycle. So in VonMechakon's strategy, Pioneer spamming involves having a contingency plan of motorcycle backup because motorcycles are great against engineers and they're great against snipers. And this machine gun backup is just fantastic. So already you can see that he wasn't planning on doing that, but as soon as he saw the snipers, he jumped into the motorcycle build order. So for any of you annoying pile spammers out there who are looking for some pointers, check that out for army items because it's a great defense against snipers. So we've kind of upped the ante now. This is kind of like a little bit of sword play with parry thrust going on. So now the name of the game is, okay, snipers are being kind of lightly countered here by these motorcycles, and they're also going to be doing some serious damage to the charismatic engineers. Oh, look at this burning! Oh my god, get out of there! Get out! Oh god, oh no! Drive-by flamethrowing, just hammering all that down there. So now the name of the game is, what do you do when you've got tons of motorcycles who are going to be threatening you, or at least one motorcycle? And I think we'll see that he's just going to go straight for... look at this. He's going straight for mines everywhere. So first off, he's going to mine the place up. Really helps you against large clusters of Pioneers and that sort of thing. But also, it's going to take out a bike or two. It's got the possibility of that. And we also have something else here. I'm going to switch back to Tycoon again. Map colors keep changing. And we have the heavy machine gun team. So machine gunners, great against bikes, especially if you use their armor-piercing rounds. They do super duper. And meanwhile, flamethrower and sniper out here. So now we kind of have, a little bit of this parry thrust action going on here in terms of who's doing what to counter what. So the sniper's out here. The motorcycle's trying to counter the sniper and put some pressure on him. Meanwhile, the flamethrower engineers are kind of putting pressure back on the motorcycle. And we'll see. They're getting heavy cover behind the front of this truck, which is cool. And going to be doing some drive-by onto this motorcycle here. So, sniper now pushing back forward, and here's a big mean blob of Vet 2 Flame Pioneers. Looks like 2-3 flamethrowers in the middle of all that. Definitely going to toast up that sniper a little bit. He's quick to retreat out of there, and huge balls of everything running around here. So, heavy machine gun team deploying to the left for some reason. Looks like he's quickly changing that, and we do have mines everywhere. well, at least a good blob of mines in the front of his base here. So flamethrower pioneers charging on in, just clearing this whole place out. This is the blob to look out for. This is the thing that when people scream about how unbalanced flamethrower pioneers are, they're kind of talking about this effect here. Like, they can just cut down everybody. You can see planting some mines here. A little bit dangerous, though. Don't ever set up on your own mines, though. Don't ever stand on your own mines. You are definitely not immune to them friendly fire style. Heavy machine gun team here, though, putting some pressure. Oh, completely destroying one bike. Everybody else backing away. And the flamethrower is setting fire to the mines. Oh, my God, they're running it. Oh, mines blowing up everywhere. Doing some damage to their own machine gunners, but also doing quite a bit of damage here to the pioneers who were there. Now getting toasted up by the remains of these guys. Looks like the machine gun emplacement getting some good damage here. And frankly, pretty destructive for both players, honestly. It does leave VonMechakon in a nice position here, but look at how wounded. He's got a whole bunch of wounded squads here. Heavy machine gun team setting up, and double snipers just picking away at the last couple of guys here. Machine gun team opening fire, taking out another squad. Huge losses here for VonMecha, especially since I'm guessing a couple of those guys were flamethrowers, and those are the hard ones to replace, or at least the annoying ones to replace. So, continually making motorcycles. He knows that motorcycles now have to be a staple part of his army. And meanwhile, we are seeing that the machine gun team is countering the motorcycles. Once again, setting up on his own mines. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. That's a bad idea. So, back and forth action. I like this. I like the idea of very consciously countering what you see on the battlefield and adapting. I'm going to go ahead and criticize this, though. I don't think this is the time or place for a tank depot. I think in general, yeah, it's good to go for a tank depot. But if you can spend all of your fuel building a tank depot and you're getting 10 fuel a minute, that's 9 minutes later until you're going to get like any sort of tank, or 6 minutes, or depending on what kind of tank you're shooting for. Still, that's ambitious. Oh, we've got a little Goliath charging around on the battlefield now. Looks like the early munitions have paid off for VonMechakon. He's building a Goliath. In case you've never used any of those, you can build Goliaths out of your bunkers and just kind of drive them around. And the Goliath is moving up, but it's getting shot by this heavy machine gun team. Boom! Look at that explosion. Basically like a huge artillery round goes off whenever those things pop. But the HMG team has no problem killing that. I guess they count as a light vehicle. I never really thought about that. Looks like double motorcycles coming in here, maybe to put pressure on this HMG team. Nope, just kind of hunting around, sniping around here, looking for stuff. And got to be careful. There's landmines everywhere. Nice flanking position on the heavy machine gun team. Heavy machine gun team certainly retreating now. Flamethrower engineers coming up to put some pressure. We'll see if they drive in to counter that. Whoa, careful you, careful. Look at that, doing a little donut in front of the base here. And taking out the second motorcycle. So the mines are already kind of paying for themselves here. Looks like third motorcycle is here. I guess it's the second now since the first one's dead. And motorcycles are going to have to be very careful. I don't think they have any idea how many mines are around here exactly. Which is another lesson here for you, which is if you're going to do Piospam, you've seen at least one mine. Get one group. Oh, look at that. Armor-piercing rounds up for the HMG team. Get at least one Pioneer with a Minesweeper on it. Still doing some serious damage here. Oh, here we come. Here comes the big deal here. Coming on in. Oh, landmine goes off. Takes out another bike. The flamethrower is doing some serious damage, but we have crossfire here. We have overlapping fields of fire here from both of these HMG teams, and they're just going to have to retreat while on fire and getting killed here. So, big criticism for VonMechakon here, I think, is there's no reason to do that. You don't have to win big. If you get anything from my casts, which is all that